What's up, Coin Kid? How you doing tonight? Turned that box in and was able to convert it into a new box of pennies, so I'm pretty stoked. Oh, how did you do? And what did you submit? I still haven't done that yet. I haven't tried submitting anything. I bet that's pretty exciting. I can only assume you're going to do a video on it. Yes, my eggs were rolled tonight. Oh wow, so you submitted multiple coins then, huh? How many total did you send in? Oh wow, so you sent some pretty cool stuff in. I have a Trime from my dad. Don't have a 20-cent piece yet. I've got some early 1800 stuff, but nothing to write home about. And I don't really have, I mean, besides modern, I don't have any BU stuff yet either. $10 coins, wow. Is that kind of the number where they don't slaughter you on the fees, is when you get to 10? I know generally the more you send in, the better rate you get, I think. Or at least it seems that most people do more coins than just sending in onesie twosies. Yeah, I went to the fun show here in Orlando, which is a pretty big coin show. I didn't look very hard, but I'm sure I could have found it if I would have looked harder, but just kind of casually looking, I didn't see any. Or at least, you know, when I was kept my eyes peeled for it. Like I said, I'm sure somebody, I mean, they had so much stuff there. I'm sure someone would have had it, but $60, wow. Yeah. I was looking just to kind of peruse. It was like really overwhelming. They had so much stuff at the show. So much nice stuff too. You could spend your life's earning there pretty quick. What's that? It's an 80. Looking for some gold, huh? My mom's actually got a couple $2.50 coins that were made into earrings. They were my grandmother's. I saw those when I was home last time. It's pretty cool stuff, man. You still getting coin, or are you struggling as well? I went to my normal pickup bank that I haven't been to in a while because I've been out of town, and she's like, you've been gone forever. She's like, I'm glad. She's like, I haven't been getting my coin orders at all. She's like, we got nothing. I'm like, what do you mean you got nothing? I said, tell me what you do have. She's like, I don't have your halves. I don't have your quarters. I'm like, do you have pennies? She did. So I got a box of pennies. I said, yeah. She's like, we got nickels too. I said, I'll take the nickels too. I opened them up. They were brand new. So I went to 2 different banks. One of the banks wouldn't swap them out for me. The other one did. And I got those home, and they were all brand new too. So I got 2 boxes, 2 brand new boxes of nickels today. Yeah, re-rolling stinks, man. I did that video today just to kind of throw some ideas out there for some of the new people that are getting into it. Coin rolling seems pretty sexy till you have to redo all your rolls. And it takes time, and I actually enjoy, you know, rolling coins. It's soothing. Well, it's no different than searching coins to just go through the process, but most people don't enjoy rolling coins. Yeah, that's the thing. The one bank I went to today said that the max they would give me is 5 rolls per denomination. I'm like, well, that's not going to work. I said, I have a box. I'll give you a box. You give me a box. I said, we can't do it. Let's beat up. Yeah, I get that, man. The box that I did the other night, I probably had for a month. I was just kind of holding on to it because coins have been tougher to get. But I felt like I could get lucky this week, and I was able to replace it, so that's pretty cool. I'm hoping tomorrow I can take the remnants of this and my brand new nickel box to my one other bank that I have, and I'm hoping they'll be able to help me out, but only time can tell. Man, these are some beat up pennies. Hunting Southwest Ohio, welcome. Man, there's a bunch of beat up 09s in here, I'll tell you that. There we go. First weed of the box. Well, let's see if we can get some light on this thing. What do we got? 51. Not very pretty, but sweet. And that was my first wheat, Southwest Ohio. So, ooh, was that an 81? It was. So I've got one wheat and 309 so far, but we're only 3 or 4 rolls in so far. So it's very, very young yet. But these are the dirtiest pennies I've seen in a while. Yeah, exactly. A wheat's a wheat. I struggle to find it, man. I'm telling you, I really think that because of the lack of circulation, that stuff's just tough. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of 09s for the number of rolls that I've done. Especially for me, I get, 6 to 8 a box, I would say. Spray Can Coins, welcome. So to have 3 in the first, what do we got here? 5. This is roll number 5. It's a ton. But my copper count's down, my wheats are down. I really think the lack of circulation's putting a licking on us, because I think that they're recycling a lot more coins that we've already been through probably. Wow, 38 wheats, last 2 boxes. That's great. That's 2 great boxes. I don't care how you slice or dice it. It's either one super amazing box and one ho-hum decent box, but that's a lot of wheats. I had some customer wrapped rolls that I did probably 2 months ago that had like something ridiculous like 160 wheats in it. But that's the way the customer wraps are. You might end up with junk, or you might end up with something like that where somebody had clearly just rolled up some really old stuff that had just been sitting in a tub probably for a long time. Wow, 26. That's great. Yeah, 12 still on the high side, man. I shoot for 10. That's where I want to be right now. And I fall short of that more often than I'd like to say. But if I get 10, I'm pretty happy. So a 12 would make you happy. 26 is cray-cray. I haven't seen boxes like that in a long time. Yeah, 10 to 15, down from Double that, yeah. I mean, I was never crushing it, but I could, you know, pretty easily count on 10, but not anymore. And like I said, the copper, even the copper's down. Like a moth or something in here. What's going on? Flybys. Oh, your copper's been up. Wow. Well, that's good. I'll take the copper. I'm going to change glasses. I can't see for save my life tonight. I don't know if it's my lighting or my glasses. Man, it's tough getting old. Yep, that's an 81. Yeah. I still get tons of 2020s. It's crazy to me. They talk about a coin shortage, and to have all these brand new boxes. That's what my nickels are. I'm pretty sure. I didn't look that closely because I don't need the 2021s either because I've already saved myself a roll of them. I'll have to look because now I'm curious. Double under of tails. Yeah, these are brand new 2020s. Whole box of them. And that's after the second one that I returned. I'm jealous, Southwest. That's crazy. I told you, I at one point I was stocking them aside, and I had a nice, you know, rainy day hoard, but it seemed like coins were getting easier, and so I started going through them. Now I'm not happy I did that. Even when I was at the bank today, talking with the teller that I hadn't seen in a while, she's like, someone told me there's a coin shortage, and she's like, what are you talking about? She's like, this is the first I've heard of it. I'm like, honestly, I've been hearing about it for about like a month now, but you kept getting me coins without any issue, so I wasn't going to complain. She's like, yeah, that's weird. She's like, I don't get it. And I'm like, I don't get it either. Said, hopefully my order, she's like, yeah, your order didn't come in last week or the week before. She's like, my order again's supposed to come in tomorrow. She's like, I'll let you know. It may or may not be here. I'm like, well, that's not very reassuring. Yeah, that's the thing is there's just no rhyme or reason. Because I know a lot of people that have been like, yeah, I can get whatever. Coin Roll Fishing he's still going through a gazillion boxes a week. And I understand that halves are certainly less susceptible to the coin shortage because they're not really a true circulation coin, but it's weird because even my one bank, she said she tried to order me 2 boxes of halves, but they only brought her 1. So she's like, yeah, I can only get, they'll only let me get 1 box a week. She's like, when I tried to order your 2, I got in trouble. I'm like, well, I don't want to cause you any grief, so, you do what you can. But Yeah, there, I don't believe there's really a coin shortage. I think that there's some kind of master plan going on here. They got something goofy going on. Well, I changed glasses and it helps. I guess it's just me. Mo Money Inc. Good to see you. Welcome. I just keep sneaking on my mat. No, I had to beg for this box, Chris. Welcome, by the way. I went to the bank and she's like, yeah, I didn't get, she said that they didn't get my coins for the last 2 weeks. So I haven't been back there in 2 weeks. And she's like, we've got nothing. I'm like, what do you mean you got nothing? I said, you have any pennies? She's like, let me ask. So she's like, yeah, I can do a box of pennies. I'm like, okay. She's like, I got nickels too. I'm like, see, you don't have nothing. I said, I'll take them both. So they gave me the pennies and the nickels, and I opened them in my car just to make sure they were circulated. And the nickels were new, and the pennies were good. So I went to another bank and tried to swap out the nickels, and they wouldn't let me. And then I went to a second bank, and they swapped them out. And when I got home, it was the last bank before I was going to get home. So I didn't open them in the parking lot. I got home, they were brand new. So I traded a new box of nickels for a new box of nickels. Yeah, I can show you, but I hate trying to zoom in. I'm horrible at that. All you got to do is kind of hold the scope down there and make your adjustment. I'm horrible at looking for DDOs. Though I mean, it's got to be pretty in your face. It seems like I feel like I should find more than I do. So I'm guessing that I'm probably passing some up, unless I'm just in an area where they've all been plucked out. But it seems like a lot of people are finding them much more often than I do. So I'm guessing I'm not so great at it. Yeah, that's what I was doing, Chris. Oh, the other thing, let me set these aside here. The other thing is so I stopped at my main pickup bank and got these 2 boxes, got the nickels, went across the street to the other bank to swap the nickels, and they wouldn't work with me, and asked her if she had halves, and she said she had $200 of halves, which to me means that somebody's dumped there because 200 seems too big for me. So I said, I don't want those. I just told her I didn't have enough with me to get those. And then I went to another bank and asked them if they had halves, and they had a half, which was a 73 clad. And so when I was at that last bank that swapped out my new nickels for another box of new nickels, I asked her if they had any halves, and she's like, I've got 1150. So I said, I'll take them. So she gave me the 1150. And now there was no silver, but she gave me a gold half. She gave me an 87. She gave me a second 87. She gave me a 2007. And then she gave me $9 worth of proofs. And the proofs, there's an 87 proof in here even. And all the proofs are in really nice shape too. So, talk about a weird day. That's like, for me, that's like 20 boxes of halves worth of fines. This I use the pluggable one. This is the same one that everybody. Oh, there's a wheat 51D. The same scope. Essentially, everybody uses. It's like 30-40 bucks maybe. Chris Cabal, welcome. I actually had a company reach out to me, and I don't know if they're just fishing for information or not. And I said, sure, go ahead and send me it. They're supposedly sending me a scope. They want me to do a review on it. So I said, hey, send it to me if you want to send it to me. You know, I'll do a review if you send it to me. And it's a little different. I think I want to upgrade simply because I feel like my scope is good, but I think my eyes are bad. So I want to get something that's got a little bit deeper of a scope to it without having to like press the scope all the way down onto the coin basically. So we'll see if this other scope shows up or doesn't show up. You should stop by and talk to Paw Spare Time, because he sent me the message. I'd have to dig it up, but he has a scope that he really likes because he also started with the pluggable, but his eyes blow like mine, and he got a scope that magnifies more. And he also finds a ton of the DDOs, I think, just because he can have the scope in a position where he's not on top of the coin but can zoom in and catch all those details. Yeah, I got it. You know, I hear you, Chris. Coin is tough. I mean, I almost had to give up a son to get this one, but it's you know, I'll take what they'll give me. I mean, the one bank said they can do 5 rolls of each denomination, and it might come down to you know, running to a couple different banks, getting 5 rolls of each denomination just so you have something. But I don't get it. I think it's artificially created myself. I'll have to learn that how to do that stretching from you, Georgia. I actually tried to do a like a screen record today. I couldn't even figure that out. I have very little patience though, so it didn't come to me quickly, so I just went on to the way that I always do things and figure out how to do it quick and dirty. So I just film my screen. Yeah, I would definitely love to learn if there's a way to do it better. It certainly would keep me from having to get a new scope. That'd be nice. Got this moth flying around in here. It's driving me bonkers. Keeps dive bombing me. Yeah, I'm using OBS right now. I've got it where I can like I can do this. So I've got it set up where I can go to my scenes and I can just go to a large scope. But that's as big as I've got it on my screen too. I want it big. I mean, I guess it might be a little bit bigger. Maybe I just need a bigger desktop screen. I mean, I've got one of the things that I was doing is I hooked up a second monitor, and I had the second monitor solely for my scope, so I can make the box as big as possible but still see all the other stuff. But I don't know. It's probably just me. I probably just need to go to the doctor and get some glasses, maybe. That'd be too easy. Highlight your scope window, grab one of the corners and make the whole window big. No, yeah, like I can make it as big as my. Let me go back here. Oh, you're talking about this one. Okay, let me see here. So I do this. You're saying like this. Okay, I get it now. I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. There you go. Okay, yeah, that will definitely work. I got it. Sweet. See, today, learn something new. I can always read it now. Oh, I'm telling you, my eyes are failing me tonight. I'm not seeing squat. I mean, I changed glasses. I'm getting ready to change glasses again because these ones I think are worse than the last ones I had. I had a pair of glasses of cheaters that I got. Is that 7 or 8? Oh, is that a 7 or an 8? I get it now. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's how I feel. I only have cheaters. I haven't been to the doctor to get a new prescription for glasses. So I just wear cheaters. And my favorite one, I took home when I went up to New York, and I carried them around the whole week and, used them when I needed to use them. And then we drove up into town and stopped at my sister's house, and I left them in her car. And none of the other pairs I have here are just quite the same. Yeah, I just have cheaters. Mine are just the pair that I had. They were fancy, man. I paid big money for them. I paid $20 for a 4-pack from BJ's, compared to the ones I have now that are from the dollar store. So we're talking high dollar stuff. Yeah, I don't know that you can do that with Streamlabs Mo Money, but you might be able to. OBS doesn't cost you anything. $1,200. Our hard pass. I just won't be able to see. Oh my gosh, and you ran over them. Yeah, I think StreamYard is a little different, but you can still use Streamlabs on your computer and not necessarily stream and stuff off it. If you're just trying to use it to scope coins, you don't have to be streaming in order to do what I just did. You can still modify that function. Because I don't know that StreamYard has all those bells and whistles. They might. But I think it's a paid version to do that. Yeah, that's because they probably ordered them from China and got them for $10. Still making money off you. Oh, I did. That was on Friday night that Rob found that. Where he found The Walker Barber. I love that gold coin you found, man. I can't. I don't know how you found that. That to me is a really unusual miscellaneous find. But I guess it's not too much different than finding the other weird stuff you find in there. 57D, Witty 3. After this, we'll update my board so it looks prettier than it is. Yeah, I know it was bankrupt. That's what's weird. Is like, how does something that obscure find its way into a coin sorting facility and not get tossed aside? It just lets you know that no one's really watching the machines and stuff like that. You think people are in there looking for silver and pulling stuff out as they can. If they miss something that different, they're definitely missing silver if they were doing that. Oh, so to zoom in on that date, what I did is where's my StreamYard, or my StreamYard, my OBS. So on OBS, I have a scene set up, which is my main page, which is this area here, and then the other stuff is text, and then the other one is my scope. And then I have a second scene set up, which is just my microscope. And so this is just my microscope, and if you come in here, you'll see, let me see if it's showing up on here or not. It is. You can't see the red line I can see, but you can see the corner of this. If you look at where the edge is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, where's my thing at here? Let's see here. It's going to be down here. Holy mackerel, look how big that is. So I'm going to come to, that is so big I can't even figure out where I'm at. Now I'm moving the coin. Anyhow, if you go to the bottom right corner, go back over here to Streamlabs here, and I grab it, and then I just pull this, and it basically just keeps making the image bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. You can make it as big as you want to make it. Like, look, I can barely fit my 1981 on my whole screen now. Yeah, that's what she said, all right. Hey, this is a family show. And then, like if you grab this corner, here you can do it the opposite way, which is just dragging it back. And it goes back to reality. So that's how you do it. I hope it makes sense. If not, I'm sure George will hook you up. Oh, and Chris, thanks for the 81s, dude. I got the ones you sent to me, and you have another rule that's awesome. It seems like I find about, I don't know, just shy of a roll a box, it seems like, for me, in my area. Which I think is pretty heavy. I wouldn't expect to find that many, but like I said, it's the reason why I picked it was there's no variations, there's no errors, there's really nothing special about the 81 besides the fact that it's copper. And I picked the copper just because I think the copper holds up to the elements much better than the zinc does. What are my 3 wheats? Great question. They're nothing special. We've got we have 2 51Ds and a 57D. And none of them are very pretty. Yeah, I've been trying to learn. Oh, let me update that board while you're saying that, so I can make sure we look nice. I said I was going to do that before, and I didn't. Scenes, sources. Oops. Come on. It's a great way to maximize your boxes, that's for sure, is by being able to go through and find out those ones, especially for halves, because halves, so often you don't find anything super appealing, and if you can pull out some of the DDOs, it can make your quote-unquote skunk hunts better. I might have a Canadian here. One of those looked weird when I rolled it, but it doesn't look weird now, so. I honestly think that for the DDOs, it's a matter of going to both Vista varieties, or Variety Vista, I always get those mixed up, and PCGS, and learning the characteristics of each of the coins, and die markers if they're available, and then it's just practice. It's kind of training your eye. I mean, if you watch Rob can pick it up almost without even looking at a coin. He can be like, oh yeah, that's a DDO, because he saw something that is not what the average schmo is looking for, just because he's seen enough of them that it's like almost instantaneous that he just can almost sense it. And the more you go through, the better you get at it. I think, at least. Yeah, it looks like you should try. You can download if you have a scope. If you have a scope, then you can put your scope on OBS and stretch it that way. And OBS, like I said, it's free. So I would just go to it, put it on your computer with the free version, and set yourself up your quote-unquote studio, and you don't have to stream it. You can just be doing it unrecorded and blow it up as big as you need it. The 71's the worst. It's definitely, for me, is the hardest. I feel like it's there, and it's not there, and maybe it's there, but I'm not great at any of them, quite frankly. And it doesn't help that the coins you're looking at are as old as they are. So a lot of times, just from a condition standpoint, that they're going to be beat up, and it makes it that much harder to tell. But then again, if they're that beat up, they're probably not worth that much to begin with anyways. Because realistically, they need to be in, you know, AU or MS condition to, you know, be the dollar numbers everybody's talking about when they're talking about making money off the coins. Look at that guy. Ooh, that's a Canadian. Ouch. The Queen has seen better days. Gosh. Put you over here, Queenie. I'm going to start also going through some of my copper and my wheats looking. I'm going to, because I got to make more of my educational. I said I was going to make 2 a week for this month, and it's been tough to even keep up to pace with that, but I'm going to do it for the month. So I want to figure out what dates to look for in my wheats and my copper. Oh, she's beyond toasty. I mean, you can barely. I mean, that's like hardcore parking lot coin. It's with a parking lot coin, and then it got so much wear after the fact that it's almost smooth again now. Yeah, you just got to keep working them. I mean, I think most banks will allow you. I really think the bags is you have to have a business account if you want to be able to return it like that. I know you at Bank of America, you have to have a business account to return them in bags. They don't care who you are, what's going on. If you don't have a business account, look at that guy. It's pretty interesting coloring. But that was my pseudo educational piece where it was like, hey, what can I put together that can help new people out? And that's kind of the thing. I started off having to roll, so I mean, I think that honestly everybody's been there and had to do that. When I was doing that, when I had to roll, I didn't roll my pennies. I would take my pennies to a Coinstar. And just suck it up and pay and get them in. I actually got them in gift cards. Suck it up and just use that for supplies or whatever on Amazon, and not have to re-roll those. I'm not sure, no money. You would have to ask what's required of that. The only reason I say that is I have a tax ID. So, because I'm running this through my business account. So, from a coin rolling aspect, I'm not sure if you were just setting it up to get coin, if there's a workaround. But Georgia's saying you can just use your plain old tax number or your Social Security for your tax number. Yeah, that's the thing is the for the change machines. Oh, you're talking about the self-serve coin machines. Yeah, the ones at the bank. If you come in with a boatload of halves, I want to say that they're only made to hold 2 boxes tops, I think. Only one of my banks has a coin machine in it, and it's a credit union, and they don't give coin at all, and they actually don't take coin. Even if you went in with like $2, they make you put it in the machine, before they'll put it in your account. They don't do coin at all. And there's a charge for the machine. So that wasn't an option. That's why I went. That's why I went the Bank of America route. Oh wow! Now is that with Bank of America, Hunt in Southwest Ohio, or is that a different bank? Because it really, you just got to ask around in your area. I found that they're all totally different. Like I'll have the same, quote unquote brand that doesn't want to work with me at all, and I go down the street and the same one is like, oh yeah, we'll do whatever you want. The Fifth Third is the one that says they'll only give me 5 rolls of each denomination, and I went to a different branch and she's like, yeah, I'll give you as many coins as you want. The coin shortage is over. Give me just tell me what you need. I mean, this was months ago. I'm sure that she probably feels a little differently now, but I might have to go back and revisit and see if she's still giving coin or not. But I always start with my closest banks because they're the easiest, but you just got to keep looking around. And I'll also tell you that whenever, like those halves that I got today, I don't have a bank. That was with Wells Fargo, and I don't have a Wells Fargo account. I've never had one, and I just go to the drive-thru and ask for halves, and almost never do they ask if you have an account. I've only gotten turned away once doing that, where they said you have to have an account. We're not going to do it, because even in one of the banks, they found out I didn't have an account, and she's like, well, you're supposed to have an account, but I'm going to do it anyways, because they want to get rid of the halves. And the one place that turned me down, I actually I went home and went online and opened an account and went back the next day and got the halves. Because I thought for sure that they were silver, but I got skunked. Digging Dave, long time no see. All right, Coin Hunter Chris, have a good evening, my friend. We were talking about the struggles of coin roll hunting and the lack of coins out there right now. You struggling? Oh, got ourselves a George. 1941. Yeah. You should. They should say, "Hey, you have to be a member. Do you want to sign up?" But they never say that. They're just like, "You have to be a customer. Get out of here." Another Canadian in '89. No issues. See, there's that guy right there that's still not having problems. Lucky Dave. Telling you, it's hit or miss, man. Some people are still able to get them. Some people aren't. They probably don't want you to have an account there because they're like, oh, this is going to be the guy that wants us to order halves and does coins. He's going to be a pain in the butt. We don't want him to bank here, so we're not even going to offer him that. Yeah, that's where we were just saying is it totally depends on the bank. And you just need to find the bank or the banker that can either learn to love you or tolerate you. Tarek, good to see you. Welcome. Yeah, the one bank that that still is ordering for me. It was only able to get one box. She said she ordered 2, but she only got 1. But she's like, I got a box of dollars too. I'm like, big dollars? She's like, no, they're the little ones. I'm like, yeah, I don't normally hunt those. I said, but I might be back for them because getting coins is tough. I might have to learn to love them. But I don't normally hunt the dollars at all. I think this might be a good thing to get into because so few people hunt them. They're probably, ripe for the picking. But I don't know. There's so many coins that are still available even with the coin shortage that I hate to dig into another denomination when I haven't even finished the ones I've started. I think that's everyone, Dave. I mean, it's been tight. I mean, Rob had a good box Friday or Wednesday. I forget which day it was, but he had a nice pop on a handful of boxes. I want to say he had silver in almost every box, and there was 2 of them that were really good. But I know people have been struggling. I know that, like Enigma, I think he went 23 boxes with nothing and just got back on it this week. So it's been rough. I've done a whopping 1 box in the last 6 weeks of halves. So I am not a good barometer of that. Yeah, that's what it is. You have to live vicariously through other coin roll hunters sometimes. You're like, oh, I hope you find something. You can't get coin, you can always watch somebody.
Dad.
Yes, sir.
At the nighttime when I ended up learning not to, I was told not to go when he does. And I
Go back, please. Ooh, 30 boxes on 3. Wow. I've had that before. I mean, I can't say wow. I think mine was my top skunk streak was 18. But that's the ebbs and flows of halves, unfortunately. You can have a streak like that, and I had a streak like that, and then I had some, ho-hum boxes here and there, and then all of a sudden, bam, I had that one box that had 45 in it. Zach Lane, welcome. We are doing pretty well. I mean, I'm almost halfway. We're at, let's see here, roll 18. And we've got 509s. Or no, that's not 5. We've got 809s, 3 wheats, 3 foreigns. And the Copper Cup's looking probably about par, maybe a little light. And we've got all this stuff that I still got to check, but I always try to scope in chunks because I don't have much patience. See, people talk about the seasons of coins as far as it gets like this every summer. I guess I've never really paid attention because I thought the silver would be great during Christmas. People would be turning their change in to get money for Christmas and this and that. I noticed almost no difference, at least in my halves. Yep, you're the start of the problem, Dave. You caused the coin shortage. Getting people into here, getting coins, making it harder for the rest of us. I I don't. There can't be that many coin roll hunters in the whole world to create a coin shortage. I think it's a bunch of foo-ha. That's just me, though. Look at that. I almost threw an 89 on my copper cup. That's how bad my eyes are tonight. It should be interesting to see how I can scope this stuff. So has anybody found anything good, exciting lately? Oh, look at that. Right as I say that, we got ourselves another wheat. Come on, be an oldie. No, it's the oldest one so far, a 46D. It's our first 40s of the box. Yeah, that's. I don't know that it's the bank. I think it's. I mean, from the banks, because I've got some good relationships with my banks. It's coming directly from the Fed. The Fed's just like, we don't feel like giving coins out. I mean, they are. I mean, the one bank that I've got will order whatever I want, and she's ordered, and they're just not bringing them to her. And the one bank, my main pickup bank that closed. There's another Canadian. He showed me the email that basically said, this is coming down from the Fed, that quarters and dimes were going to be the first to be tough to get. And now it's it's even pennies and it's everything now. Nickels have been just darn near impossible for me to get this year circulated. Every box I get is brand new, which makes zero sense to me. If there's a coin shortage, how come? I mean, what did you guys do? Print 4 billion new nickels? There's that Canadian I was talking about. 86. Ooh, 40 or a 50D. I still have yet to find one of those in a box. I've got one, but it's not one that I found. I'm still hoping. I mean, I think I've found just about everything else on my own in some kind of condition, but not the 50D. I know I don't have that. Yeah, Silver Seeker got a bunch of. He got his order, I think 2 weeks ago. He got 8 boxes of all 2021 NIFCs, full boxes. And then he was concerned. I think I don't know if he canceled his stream this past week. I think he was going to cancel his stream or put it, on temporary pause because he felt it was going to happen to him again. He actually drove halfway to Michigan, and Coin Crew drove halfway from Michigan to him, and they met up to get coins so he could do his stream. He traded those NIFCs. 25,000 wheats. That's a lot of wheats. You just bought a bunch, didn't you? Well, I think the Fed's dumping them into circulation anyway, so I don't know how they can be NIFCs because I know for a fact that the Fed's sitting on certain amounts. Because if you look at the pretty 80s and 90s that have been showing up in the boxes lately as well, the Fed's sitting on extras of everything that they're dumping out on an as-needed basis. And now they're just doing it with the newer coinage because they probably ran out of their 80s and 90s. But I think it's just one of those terms that have always been there, and that's just what it is. Maybe they can be RIFC, rarely intended for circulation. Look at that. Come on, be a new one. Oh, it's not. It's an 83. Another Canadian. I'm still trying to find that 2012. Don't have one of those yet either. Mo Money, if you need a 39D, I'll be more than happy to trade you. I want to say, I'll have to double check, but I'm pretty sure I've got a couple of extras. The collection I picked up a couple months ago, I think had 3 or 4 of them in there. You know me, I always love a trade. Hey, does anybody have a roll of 16D Merc Dimes laying around they want to throw one at me? Look at these Canadians, man. 76. They know I'm in Florida, right? Merc Dimes. I'm looking for a 16D. I know someone's got a whole roll of them someplace, probably. Just sitting on them. Look at these Canadians, man. Holy macaroni, 91. What is that? 7 Canadians already. We're not even halfway into this box. What is going on? I think this is a Michigan box. You don't have any of the 16s, Georgia? The Alaskan bear claw error. That's a fun one to find. Okay. Yeah, my dad's book had he had everything except for the 16D and a 31D. I don't know why it was just a 31D. Wasn't especially expensive or hard to find. I mean, it's a little bit lower mintage, but certainly not crazy. So I bought the 31D. So now I'm only missing the 16D. But man, those are expensive. My video opening is made by somebody on Fiverr. I could look it up for you if you're interested. She actually has like a whole bunch of different things, and I made her redo it a couple times. And because what she sent me originally was not what I was looking for, so she was pretty easy to work with, but it was also very, very inexpensive. I want to say I paid, I don't know, $20 or $30 for an intro and outro, some subscription buttons that I don't know how to use because they're like green screen or something, and some other stuff that I don't use either. But it basically, I wanted to have that. I thought that it really gives the video a more quality look to it by having something at the beginning and the end. So, and I wanted it quick and easy, so that's what I did. I think yours is good though. I don't think yours is horrible. It's no different than your outro, your stuff you do there. I think that's good too. I don't think it's horrible. I think it's good. But I don't have the skill set to do that on my own, so or I could probably figure it out, but time and patience are at a high price for me these days, so I took a hard pass. Oh, your outro is freeware. Yeah, Chris, I think the thing is, it just gives you something to add in there. It doesn't, I mean, it doesn't have to be like something crazy. It enables you to create your brand a little bit. Mine's far from where I want it to be, but it works for now is the way that I look at it. I'll probably change it. I know that if you look at Rob's videos, he's probably changed his, 2 or 3 times in the time he's been doing it. So you'll kind of learn what you want for a look and a feel. What date is that? It's not a week. I don't know what it is though. I just dumped a whole bunch of stuff off my computer. My computer was struggling. I just took 300 gigabytes off my hard drive, put it on a portable drive just to give myself some space. My computer was struggling. And I still need to get more off of it. Hey, put your money back into it, man. That's what Mr. Beast did. He basically said that his check was his budget for his next month's videos. And he's doing pretty good nowadays. Come on, Chris. What's more fun than monetizing it? That's kind of like it's not like it's going to be an end-all be-all, but it's just one of those games you play where you can set new targets. Oh, losing your job. Yeah, that could be a good reason. So you sold your soul to the news channel. Oh, I didn't know Bonnie Bull did stuff. That's cool. Keep it in the community. Yeah, I know YouTube slows down in the summer, so now's the time to make your tweaks, I think. Because once school starts back up, I think that YouTube will start getting more action again. Man, there's some tore up pennies in here. Maybe we'll get some old ones. I wouldn't think it would be a conflict of interest to talk about coins and coin roll hunting. But yeah, it's probably best to ask first. You are a famous TV personality, so. All right, get her done. Yeah, you got to get the content up. It's all about staying consistent. Look at this. This penny's got 2 chunks out of it, and it's just a 2001. Yeah, I bet. I would think that it's no different than like I know from the radio stations here locally. It's, you know, they have to do the little like commercial spots where they talk about products that they're definitely not using that they say they're using and yada yada yada. But it's like that's all contractual stuff, you know. But it's like, we do this and we do that, and blah-de-blah. It's the nature of the business, though. Another Canadian. Tore up Canadian, but it's Canadian. All right, Tarek. Appreciate you swinging by. Your Kennedys are in the mail. Keep your eyes peeled for them. Game 4. That'll be a blast. Sorry, we're breaking into the game to let you know about some weather. Sports fans be crazy too. All right, no hurry. Have a great evening. Yeah, you're pre-planning the rant page. Like, hey, I'm just trying to do my job here. I'm not trying to make you upset. I completely get it. Oh, and they will. I mean, I know that just from watching it, and I think Twitter is probably the worst, man. Twitter, this people instantly will just start going crazy about stuff on Twitter. I don't Twitter. I actually, at one point, believe it or not, worked for a social media company, but I do not Twitter. My wife does. She loves it, man. She's on that thing all the time. We're watching something, and we'll just know that so-and-so is saying so-and-so about so-and-so because of what just happened in a game or whatever. Craziness. Ooh, my box is overflowing here. Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, I guess I'm just too old. I don't know how people can stay up with all their different things. I did Facebook for. I still check it once a week, maybe, but any more than one, I get overwhelmed. Says a guy that at one point had like 80 websites and crap like that, but I just can't do that anymore. People they'll tweet this and they'll Facebook that and Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok and everything else going on. I'm like, oh, how do you keep up with that? A lot of it is toxic too. I mean, unfortunately, that's just the trolls though. Really, for the most part, it's people got nothing better to do than try to drag everybody else down with them. Trolls and instigators. Those are the two main populations, I think. But that's why we watch traffic accidents when we go by them. The rubberneckers is we always want to know what's going on, so I get it. Well, because it's very easy to say things on there because there aren't the same repercussions as if you're in person, unfortunately. But on the flip side of that too is they also can come back to bite you. If you look at all these people that get in trouble about something they said or something they posted or something they did or posted without really thinking about it, and then 10, 15 years down the line, they dig it up and you get destroyed. Those are the kind of things you got to watch out for. That's why I'm glad there was no social media when I was a kid. There's no proof I was an idiot. Or very little proof, I should say. Yep, there's always someone digging for the dirt, man. I've never even gone back and looked at what I've posted, but I haven't been on social media that long, anyways. But I'll also tell you that I know that I want to say it was Enigma the other night that said that he went back and saw a post he had put up, 10 years or whatever ago, like that came up in a memory or whatever, and you changed so much in 10 years that you could be almost a completely different person than you were then and think much differently than you do, and it's hard to hold that person accountable per se, especially when you're young and dumb, but they do. That's why you just got to be careful what you say and do, even more so now than in the past. And there's also people out there that just, they're toxic because, any attention's good, even if it's negative attention. All right, man. Enjoy your stream. Have a good stream, and I'll likely still be here. Knock this box out. And hopefully, grab one again tomorrow. I'm gonna clean my board up a little bit too. I'm getting a little sloppy. My eyes are failing me too. Getting worse. A lot of 2021s in here. Nope, there's a Wheatie. 42. Probably the nicest one we got so far, too. be time to update the board. Alright, let's fix this up here. Look, we had more than that. All right, time to get an oldie in here. More 2021s. Ooh, 72. Damn right, 81s are looking good tonight. Did you get his video uploaded properly? Mo Money, calling Mo Money. Please report to the main office. Yeah, I get it. Probably not too many people are wondering how to magnify their thing that much, just us blind folk. Yeah, I get it. That's how you gotta do it sometimes. If it's just being shared with him, you don't gotta be all crazy professional. You're just trying to figure it out. As long as he understands, that's all that really matters. Man, there's so many 20s and 2021s in here. So how many days is... Well, I think you need to have like 10 hours a day to get your 4,000 hours. That's my problem, man. I'll beat a thousand well before would hope I get to 4,000 hours. I have myself I don't even have 2,000 hours yet. Because those darn shorts don't count as anything. But it's been good for viewers, for subscribers, so I'm hoping subscribers turn into viewers. So in time, hopefully they will pay off, but only time will tell. Yep, someday I'll be able to check the revenue, hopefully, but not going to be today, I can tell you that. Your newer videos have been doing very well, though, which is good to see. So you're definitely getting a nice chunk of viewership right after you launch, which is super positive. Yeah. Well, I find that again, it's kind of like half dollars. They go in little bits because I look back and I had that huge spike out of essentially no place. I don't even know what it came from. I had a huge spike and then it kind of just stayed flat for a little bit, and then I had another spike and I was down on my dip. This month I'm doing a push for content to see what kind of things I can change to make things a little bit different. And I've definitely seen an uptick since the beginning of the month, which is positive. But we still don't even know if that's from content or not. So I just need to get a video that gets some good viewership. Really, I'm surprised because there's not really any huge airs for 2021. There's some die chips, but I'm sure people are trying to find out what it is, and if you want to be the guy that puts out, that's one of the things that I don't want to do is just put out stuff chasing certain words, because I can talk about, this penny that could be worth $25,000 that you'll never find. Oh, look at that. We got ourselves a wheat 47. Wheatie 6. I would rather not be the glitz and grandma, because I mean, like, if you look at Couch Collectibles, he's got a great channel. He's got a crap ton of subs, but most of his stuff is really not about coins you'll ever find. Even if you're a hardcore cherry picker, you'd be lucky to find some of the coins that he's talking about. People always hang out for gauze, but I don't got nothing to gauze, my problem. Unless they want my Visa bill. I'll gauze that. Another Canadian. What do I got to give away? I got nothing nobody wants. The only thing I got is W's. And those aren't even really that sought after. I mean, I was shocked when I went to the coin show. Nobody had W's out. I think I saw some slab W's and a couple that were in flips, like in the boxes you could dig through. And even the ones in the boxes, they were pretty nice W's too. $10. I was blown away. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. I mean, you really can gaw anything, because I mean, people don't care. I mean, I don't know that people even care what you give away. I could give away, you know, a pet rock, and people would probably still go gaga for it, because people just like to get free crap. Yeah, I'm gonna keep streaming when I have a chance to beef up my hours, because I mean, I know that like Tupac and those guys, they have like craziness, like 9,000, 10,000 hours, and they're struggling to get to 1,000. Or that they're a bad example because they're there now, but I mean, they were saying, you know, hours is not my issue, it's my sub count, and I'm in the back seat, and it's definitely from the streams, because streams, even when I do streams, it's not like I'm getting super chunky ones like you did, like where you had, I think you said like you got like 100 hours off that one. But I'll take my 10 hours here and there. That's well better than I'm getting out of any video right now, at least. See, look at that. See, Chris, he's got the hours. I need the hours. Give me some hours. I need the hours bad, man. I've got 0 hours. My problem is it's those dang shorts, man. I put a lot of time and energy into them, and I appreciate the fact that people watch them, but they are not. There's no love back from them, that's for sure, because the time doesn't count, and you can't monetize it either, unless they're viewing it on the YouTube platform versus the Shorts platform. And I know that I'm getting my views off the Shorts platform, not off the YouTube, from my analytics. So even if I was to get monetized, I don't believe you can monetize those anyways. They have a completely separate gig for the Shorts. And from a short standpoint, I'm a small player. The big Shorts people are getting like millions of views. Yeah, 411 hours. That's sick. That's crazy town, man. Yeah, Mad Stacker, that stream he did with his ridiculous wheel, he probably got 1,000 hours off that stream. It was just like crazy times. I guess once I get closer to 1,000, if I'm still struggling, I'll pull a rabbit out of my hat someplace. 68 people. Yeah, I mean, the night he did it, I think he was getting an hour per minute. He was figuring, where he was getting 2 hours per minute, something stupid like that, where it's just like, he was, you know, and on top of that, he milked it for everything it was worth. Yeah, I don't want to have to, even if you look at, you know, Rob, now he does some giveaways, but he is very strategic with his giveaways as well, and people are coming back for the show as much as they are. He's one of the few that doesn't, I feel like, rely on giveaways to get the people to come in. Mr. Patrick Johnson, how are you tonight? Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I did. I think I did. I did a gaw at. I think I did a gaw at 100 subs or 200 subs or something like that, and then I did one just for the heck of it, just because I felt like being generous one of those days, and did a giveaway. it's definitely good for getting some fresh meat into the coffer. But all right, Chris, thanks again for stopping by, man. Have a great show this evening, and I'm sure we will bump heads again soon. Yeah, I won one of your gods, I think. The first one, the first time around. Hey, Georgia was down there not too long ago, and he was able to scout out some coins. I don't know if they were halves. So it's definitely doable. I meant to grab some halves when I was up at scout camp, but all the banks were so far away. We were out in the middle of no place. Are you familiar with Camp Rainy Mountain, Georgia? Rat Stacker, welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, I haven't been doing much live lately, but I am trying to get myself some hours, so I figured I'm hunting a box, I might as well share it. So the last penny box I hunted a couple of days ago, I did it live, and I figured tonight, since I grabbed a box today, I would do it live as well, because the other box I have here is a brand new box of nickels, so it's not even huntable. So I'm going to take this and return them tomorrow and hopefully turn them back into more coins. But only the bank will determine whether I'm successful or not. But I appreciate you swinging by. It's still early there yet, huh? Probably what? You're what, 6 hours difference? Is that what it is? Yeah, I get it, man. It's hard to keep up with content sometimes. Life can get in the way. It doesn't hurt to throw something small up. It doesn't have to be a huge production sometimes. Sometimes it's nice just to do a quickie to let people know you're still alive. Two kilos. Yeah, that's what I thought. Early. You just get out of week, probably. Welcome back, Chris. Yeah, Rat Stacker is my contact in Hawaii. Hopefully he's going to be able to score my pennies for me out there. We've been talking back and forth by email. I haven't even looked at silver. What's silver at? That seems like an awful lot of silver for, although it is an ounce. Oh, Maui. I love Maui. That's a gorgeous island. $26 ounces. Oh, $26. So what is that? I gotta run some numbers. Oops. What? That doesn't sound right. Oh, that's why. Yeah, that's a pretty. I mean, from what I was really surprised that the pre-30 wasn't going for more than it didn't have a higher premium than it did. When I was home at my mom's place, she has another week, another 51D. She has a. She said, I've got this gold necklace of your grandma's I think I want to sell. So I said I wanted to see it, and it's a gold necklace with a, is it St. Gildan? It's a like a 1917, almost an ounce. It's not an ounce, but it's a little bit less than that gold piece, and then it's a pair of earrings, and the earrings are $2.50 Indians. But when I looked them up, I was like, "Oh, you can't sell this. I want this." But I mean, it's not that they're cheap, but I was surprised that with them being, what am I doing here? That they weren't. There wasn't more premium. I would have thought they'd be much more over spot than they were. I guess I was surprised. It's not like pre-33s are a dime a dozen. I mean, I would think they're, based on the coin shed, they're not as rare as I thought they were, but still, there's certainly far fewer than there once was. Yeah, if it's not your jam, man, I think it's a fair offer. I haven't gotten into the gold scene myself simply because it's so damn expensive. Even the little itty bitty pieces are expensive. I'd love to at some point, but it's not in the cards for me right now. I'd much rather fill my current books or have the cash. Yeah, the tourists beat Hawaii these days. It's so expensive in Hawaii, though. You think California is expensive? Wait till you go out to Hawaii if you aren't used to prices, man. It cost a pretty penny to buy anything. Even when I was out there in the 90s, I got like a pita bread breakfast sandwich for like $12. Today it's probably $25. It's crazy expensive. All right, hunting Southwest Ohio. I appreciate you swinging by, my friend. Have a great evening. Go get yourself some shut-eye. I got about 7 rolls left, and I'm going to do the same. Look at this. We're talking about shut-eye, and Rat Stacker here's just getting off work probably. Getting ready to have some dinner here shortly. We're getting ready to snooze. Oops. Losing my mind here. Oh, so you've been before. Yeah, I was just blown away. It's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but man, it's pricey. I would much rather slum in Mexico. That's just me, though. I can buy a little piece of Mexico for the prices of Hawaii. Oh. Where'd that one go? Okay, not what I thought it was. Yeah. $1 million for your just Joe Blow average home. I know it's just like everything's crazy. Well, the one of the things that I found out when I was there is, you know, even pineapple is expensive in Hawaii because they pick it in Hawaii and send it to the States to process it and then send it back. I mean, everything's got to be brought in. So, I mean, I can't even fathom what food prices are because food right now is ridiculous. I mean, food is insane. I don't care where you're at. It's so pricey. I can't even fathom what you guys are paying for food right now. Lurking at work. Yeah, but you probably slept in later than me. I'm probably waking up halfway into my day. But that's the way it works. Guam Stacker was in here the other night. I was shocked. He was like, I think he was in here at nighttime and he was just starting his day at work. It's just crazy. He's like, I always joke with him, I'm talking to him from the future because they're a day ahead of us half the time. $1,200 in taxes and fees. Yowza! That'll leave a mark. Yeah, $1 million. A lot of places will get you a lot of. I mean, it's California's expensive too. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, when you start looking at, I mean, I know Hawaii is more expensive than California, but even when you look at the houses in California, you're like, man, unless you had to live there, you could live any place else for so much cheaper. It's crazy, crazy town. A gallon of milk, $10. I can believe that, man. I couldn't make it, man. I've got 4 boys, and they eat me out of house and home as is. I'd be living out of a cardboard box probably. But you got beautiful weather. So you got that, right? And you got Dog the Bounty Hunter. Remember that guy? Oh man, good old times. They might charge you, man. That wouldn't be the first time I've heard of that. Sorry, this is a private beach. But I'm paying to stay here. Well, the beach isn't included in that. You have to order that out of your room service. Come on, old wheat, where you at? I'm really hoping that I can find a 09 SVDB. Just wait for one of these days when you just flip it over and it's there. It'd be pretty amazing. I know, just one. I mean, I'm asking for 1 cent. It was like that war nickel that I saw at the show. I'm like, I talked with my son on the way out. I'm like, go up to them and ask them about that nickel again. Tell them you'll give them 10 cents for it. It's like 10 cents. There's a wheat. 1909 S. How about a 46? I said, just tell them it's a dime. I said, offer them a dime. You can give them 10 cents. They're doubling their money. It's like, Dad, that was a $2,200 coin. I'm like, it never hurts to ask, right? He didn't do it. Darn kids. Yeah, the beaches are public. It's the sand that costs you. How many grains of sand did you want? Yeah, the chair of the umbrella definitely going to get you. I can guarantee you that. That's a given. Your wife didn't just go for the beach towel? You can't say, hey, honey, can we just use towels today? Yep, I got one of those too. Tail's never enough. Ooh, that was a proof for a second. Wow, it's a nice 07. Wish it didn't have that fingerprint on the front. It's probably mine. I'm gonna keep that one. That one's pretty. I like that one. Come on. 09. There was I don't know if you guys are members of a lot of the Facebook groups, but I have, like I said, I don't go on there that often, but when I do, I kind of cruise around for a little bit because I tend to miss stuff. But there was a guy on one of the coin pages. He's selling 09S VDB MS66 or MS64, I think it was. I'm like, wow. I didn't go back to see what it sold for, but it was up to $2,100 last time I looked. I appreciate it, Jimmy Lacari. Thank you for swinging by. Thank you for smashing the like button. Yeah, this is a Florida box pennies. Look at these Canadians that are coming out of here. Best thing I found coin roll hunting. You know, I haven't found anything super rare coin roll hunting. I wouldn't say that there's anything like crazy. I'd probably have to go with like maybe one of the walkers that I've found hunting halves. It's probably as valuable as anything. I haven't I mean, I found a lot of stuff. I like finding buffaloes. They're not very valuable. I enjoy them though, so it's always worth it in my book. I'll take a buffalo any day of the week. But I have not found any big money coins yet. Georgia found himself a seeded Liberty quarter once, though. Not that it's like super high dollar, but that's a pretty amazing find. I'm still waiting for something cool like that. But I've only been through a couple hundred boxes in my life, so at the end of the day, there's a lot of coins still out there. Feels copper. What are you? You are copper. Rolling up the quarters. Hey, you have any luck with your quarters? Quarters have been tough to find. Even my quarter pickup bank didn't have quarters. Yeah, I've kind of I found a lot of quantity of stuff. Like one of the actually I bought those, but I mean I when I first started I bought a box of Wheaties from a guy, which was fun until I found out that he totally hosed me, and there wasn't as great finds in there, but it was still fun. It was a great way to learn. Still waiting for one of those really cool, crazy airs or a super old coin, but it's not come my way yet. Hey, the 60 silver. That's not too shabby. Was it just one box? If you got a silver out of just one box, it's a pretty solid box in my book. You know, I have made a decision. I was talking to a guy at the coin show, one of the dealers there, and he said that one of his customers is a kid, and he has found 55 rolls worth of dimes since he's been hunting. I don't know about you. I don't find that many dimes. Look at this guy. He's totally tore up. Oh, and I just threw my copper cup. What are you doing, you moron? Wrong one. Yeah, 3's not bad today. $72p double die. Yep. I'm still looking for that one myself. I look. I mean, it doesn't help that the coin shortage doesn't help. And on top of that, I really think that just with the pandemic and with coinage in general, there's a lot less circulation than there once was. So I don't think that we see as much, flow of coins like we used to. They kind of stay in the same general vicinity, and I can even say that just from I at one point did Where's George and entered a bunch of bills and did it and then forgot about it, and I was thinking about it last month, and so I emailed them and said, hey, I can't find my name and my password, can you help me out? And they helped me get back in, and I went back in. I finally got my password and my name, and I got in, and like the bills that I had marked never really, I mean, some of them did, but I mean, most of them stayed within the state, basically. Which is, I mean, I'm in a tourist area as well. You'd think they would travel more than they did, but most of the stuff I entered didn't. And I think that's pretty true, definitely true, or more true for coin. This is the last rule, by the way, gentlemen. I don't think we have any latest here yet. Yeah, I tried my Publix here, and they said I tried multiple Publixes here. I wasn't just the one that I normally shop at. I tried a couple of different ones, and they said that because I know that Half Dollar was doing that when he lived in Florida, and they said that they won't sell me a bag. So I waited till there was a different person working there and asked them, and they said, yeah, no, we're not doing that. We can't do that because of security reasons. I'm like, security reasons? I'm like, I hand you cash, you hand me a bag of coins, and I walk out, and it's not really your problem, right? Shit, I just threw a 99 in there. Son of a gun. I hate dimes, but I think I want to start doing dimes again. He said that little the kid he was telling me about was a teenager too. I'm like, this little teenager can pull out 55 rolls of dimes. I'm gonna have to get myself some dimes, maybe get back into the dimes, make myself some money. I can't get halves, but they didn't have dimes today. I asked. I'll be happy to find anything that will be huntable. Yeah, that's the way that I mean, if I can't, I only can get one box of halves right now. So if I can't get my fix in halves, then quarters would be even harder. I'm gonna have to resort to dimes. I'll switch into the other view so you guys can see the scope if you want to see it. If not, we can just continue gabbing our brains out. Oh, look at that little baby. Two full tubes of rosies. I'm jealous, man. I've been hunting dimes. I haven't done that many. I've done a handful of boxes, but I think I did 10 boxes before I found anything, which is super frustrating. All right, here we go. We're going to find a bunch of white AMs tonight. I was looking for... it's not a double ear. It's got an extra earlobe on that one that I was looking there. These are going to be white AMs.
American League 1, 5 to 2.
Okay. Good night, buddy. See you in the morning.
See you too.
Full two. I found my first Merc last month out of a box. So all I had found prior to that was the rosies. Whoops. Now watch. That looks like a white AM, right? Check down here. It's close to the building. This will be a 1990. Watch. This will be a 1990. Because my eyes fail me every time. I just look like, yes, white AM. It's going to be a 90. It's a 78. How did that end? Oh, I must have thought it was a 98. Yeah, that's so horrible. Worst coin hunter ever. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Exactly. It's like, oh god, he put a quarter down in there. And you wonder why I don't find the DDOs. Oh gosh. That was horrible. It's normally the 1990s what it is. For some reason I think the 90s a 98. I do that at least once a week, but man, I've never had a 78 before. That's just horrible. Horrible. Just horrible. All right, Radstagger, I appreciate you stopping by, man. It was good seeing you. I'm glad we could converse in real time. Yep. Come on, White Am. A real one this time. All right, Chief, I appreciate you. I know this is not super exciting, and unfortunately, I probably am not likely to find anything because I always pile these up, and they're often a disappointment. I appreciate you swinging by. Have a great evening. I appreciate the watch time. Yeah, those are my. That's my. The All-Star game just finished, so my kids are scurrying to get to bed and making all kinds of noise in the process. I was looking at one of these forums that I watched the other day, and somebody had a 69S. It looked really good to me, but everybody kept saying it was machine doubled. So I'm wondering if I need to learn a little more about that, because that would have definitely fooled me. Oops. No, that's right. You know, if you're concerned, this is a close AM. He's throwing all those away. Those are all white AMs. Die cracks don't, but I mean, aren't that? Those are pretty, pretty noticeable and things like that. But the machine doubling can be so tricky sometimes to tell the difference between true doubling and machine doubling. I mean, this one was like, I would have swore it was a double die, but everybody and their brother was talking about how it was machine doubling. I'm like, I don't know. let's find one of these this time. We're running out of coins already. It's a huge pile. A die crack is normally going to be like, I don't know, I guess you can say it's a crack versus a, it's because a die crack is going to leave a raised element, where a scratch is an indentation, if that makes sense. A die crack is kind of like the spitting horse is a die crack. So it's actually a raised element versus a mark into the coin. Sometimes they'll look similar under a scope, but it varies a lot. The thing that gets you is the lighting, I think, more than being able to scope in on things. But like, you can see here, you can see there's a die crack between the corner of the building and the rim of the coin there. But like, you want to see a weird one that I got last time. Which one of these was it? It wasn't him. But look at this one here. It's like, it's not a die, this isn't a die crack, it's like a crack in the coin. It's weird. I just set it aside because I don't know. To me, it's an anomaly. It kind of looks like a die crack, but I don't know what it is. It's not a die crack and it's not a scratch, but you can see it going from the rim of the coin down through his head to like under his ear. Yeah, I think it's a cracked skull. So I don't know, but I don't know what this is, whether it's just a proper copper coating or what, but crap like that I just set aside. What am I waiting for? It does look doubled a little bit. But like from this side, it doesn't look doubled. See, it looks, if you have it light this way, it looks like on its it's almost like a hue all the way down to his neck, but it does look doubling across his nose though. But if I come with the lighting from this direction, I guess it's still there a little bit, but it's definitely less pronounced. It's getting set aside anyways. This goes into my, I think that I've done a short on it or a video where I have my question mark cup, and it's to talk with someone that's smarter than I am, which doesn't take a whole lot, but to try to figure out what some of these things may or may not be. I try to limit the higher end coins that I have to have in the question mark cup, but Yeah, it's confusing, and it's honestly, it's just a part of it's a learning curve. You just have to converse with the right people, and like I'll take a couple of coins into a coin shop and say, hey, can you explain this to me? And it's a learning process for sure. I mean, and I'll tell you too, it's funny, you can learn quickly if you put some time and energy into it. If you look at Rob's first videos, he didn't know as much. I mean, he has learned so much in 2 or 3 years, it's ridiculous. I don't have any RPMs. I have a couple that I think maybe, but again, when it comes to a lot of those things, I've always set them aside because I'm not 100% sure. Even when I think that I have them, I'm not 100% sure. Let me see if I have any that I have marked where I can show you. Might have something here. Okay, so like I have this one here. It's probably not going to show it very well because it's in a flip now. Let's see if I can blow this up a little bit better for you. And you tell me what you think. That to me, I have marked as an RPM. And according to Variety Vista, I feel like that is the RPM 006. And this is an 87D. And you'll see on the top of the D, in like the open part of the O, there's a little bit of stuff there, and then there's the stuff on the outside of the southeast front edge of the D. But see the shadowing in the inside of the D as well? The southeast definitely has. If you look from like the middle of the D to the bottom of the D, there's definitely, again, I don't know if that's corrosion. I'm trying to see if I can. I don't know if it's corrosion or if it's actually the doubling, but you can see on the inside of the D, on the top inside of the D, there's like something there as well, and it kind of matches the picture from RPM 006 for the 87D. So for me, what I've done is I've marked them down, and I just keep looking at coins, keep looking at them, and I'm hoping that when I see something like this that definitely looks different to me, that's when I start comparing it to Variety Vista and digging deeper and just trying to learn and train my eye, because a lot of it's eye training. It's no different than like this one here. You're probably not going to be able to see because it's in the flip. But in this one, do you see any FG on that? This one's probably not a very good shape because it's not in the best of shape, but let's see if we've got one that's in a little better, because I got 3 of these. But like this one here, you'll see there's a slight raised element of what I think might be a G. But The other one had a lot less, but it also had some deterioration. And then there's this one. That's the same one I just showed you, isn't it? Let's try this one. So I got 3 of them. Nope, wrong side. And you'll see there's like a slight, ever so slight raised element of something down there. To me it looks more like a D than a G, but there's nothing there either. So, but I'm also not sure how particular they are on with this air, because if you look at the no FG for the no FGs on the halves, they are, you can have slight raised element like this. I'm not sure how they are on this particular air. So, and these aren't worth that much. So again, these are samples that I would take into a coin shop and say, hey, what do you think? Does this count? Does this not count? Just so I can learn, because that's all it really is. It's a learning process. I have a couple of white AMs. I have one 2000, and I think I have 3 98s. I don't have a 99, which is the, I guess, the harder one to find. But I've scoped a lot of, look at that one. It's got a weird rim to it. It's like double punched or something. But it's, for those ones, I mean, like tonight, I probably scoped almost a full roll of 98s through 2000s and nothing. So, I mean, out of all the boxes I've done with probably very similar numbers, I've only found the 4. But it's cool. Like I said, I mean, about once a month I find I'm like, yes, I found a white AM, and it ends up being a 1990. That's why I thought that one was going to be a 1990. But they're cool to find. I mean, it's fun to find new stuff like that. Where's my, there it is. But it's a learning process for sure. I have a large and a small date 82. Actually, the best thing for the 82, let me do this. Source. Let me do this. Because I was thinking about doing a video on this one. Because it's I mean, I know Rob says it's super easy to see, but I guess, again, it's like training your eye to see the difference. But like here, when you see it like this, it makes more sense, I guess. Let me see if I go to, where's it at? Why isn't this showing up? Huh. Let me try this. Let me turn this off, turn this off, turn this back on. Why isn't it showing up? Let's do... There we go. But like you can see here, kind of on the 82s, I've got one of each I could show you, but this will show you better on like a large date versus a small date, where you can see the way the bottom lines line up. On the large date, it's going to be the 8's considerably bigger. And you have to look at the nook of the 2 is different. You'll see that the large date has the kind of pointy tail and has a fatter curve to it, whereas the small date is more open and doesn't have the tail, and the 8 lines up at the top and with the 1. Whereas the 82 has the tail, the fatter curve, and the 8 is below the 1, and technically speaking, it's slightly above the 1 if you count the curvature, but even though the top line's up, the bottom part is below. Hey, you play, you win. We play, you win. How you doing, man? But the biggest thing he does with oops, what did I do? Oh, my bad. Let me go back. Is the 2 is generally the easiest thing to pick up because the corner of the 2 is much fatter on the large date than it is on the small date. I don't catch the 8 as well. I mean, on here when you have the lines, it certainly makes more sense. But the 2 is a bigger pickup for me than the 8. Even though the 8 is technically bigger, it doesn't jump to me as much as the 2 does. So, hope that helps. Turn this back on, turn this back off. But it's the same thing with the 70s. Is if you just look it up, and that's why I said I want to do a video, because a lot of people won't necessarily find the right images to compare them. But if you Google the 70 small versus large, look for the ones that have the lines, and then it will almost detail the differences. Like the 2, they don't necessarily point out as much. But you can, figure out what those differences are. Hang on one second for me. Sorry. Let me look. I don't remember the 60 as much. I don't think there's a difference on the 60s, is there? Oh, there is a 60s difference. Oops. So let's do this again. Oops, wrong one. So on the 60s, the the way that I remember him explaining this one is you're looking at the gap on the 6. You'll see the opening for the 6 has a much larger gap on the large date compared to the small date. But that's really the only difference. That one's probably one of the tougher ones, where it's the gap. You'll see how much longer the arm on the 6 on the large date is compared to the small date. But again, if you look at it without the lines, you can see the difference once you kind of know what to look for, but it's not as prominent as it would be when you had the lines there. And you have to remember, you're going to be looking at it without the lines. But the biggest thing is the gap on the 6, and the curl on the 9 it's more closed on the large. Yeah, it has a longer neck on the 6 as well. The floating roof, I have that. That is that's actually a that's just polishing. They're not really worth that much. I have one. I believe they're on the 69 and the 70. I think I have one of each, and it's just over polishing. And what you're going to do is, let me put my thing back up and show you where they're at. Let's go back to the microscope here. It actually might be on this 69D, because a lot of times, let me reduce the size on this. We don't need to be zoomed in this much. But it's on the same part as the one where there's the no FG a lot of times, because it's the same over polishing. Where am I getting this glare from? No, it's from this. But you'll see over here, see how it's not connected? This top rectangle basically from the pillar area, there's no clip here and there's no mark here. Whereas with the normal penny, you're going to have those like lines that come down. And it's just over polishing of the die where those don't show up, where it doesn't look like they're connected. So this one here, it comes right down to the building on both sides. This one's kind of shiny, so let's try one that's not quite so shiny. But that's a solid square versus the floating part, where this one kind of floats. That top section floats from the building itself. Anyhow, like I said, they're cool to find. I've added them into my collection just for the heck of it, but they're not worth a whole heck of a lot. But I think they're cool to find. When I hear about new stuff like that, I do the same thing. I'm trying to look around and see if I can find them, and tuck them away. That's what's great about the pennies, is you're able to tuck away stuff without feeling too guilty because it's just a penny. So, hey, no, I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate you coming in and spending some time with me. It's nice to talk and talk about stuff we enjoy. So, have a wonderful evening, and I will catch you guys on the next time. All right, we play, you win. I appreciate you swinging by this evening. I tried to stay up for your stream the other night, but I didn't make it. Are you guys streaming again tonight? Oh, that'd be great, Chris. I'd love to take a look at it. Oh, you already streamed tonight. All right. Well, I'll catch you next time around then. I appreciate you swinging by, though. You guys stream a lot, man. You guys are up, 7 days a week. I was going to say you stream all the time. Yeah, exactly. Watch hours are critical for me right now. I'm struggling. We'll get there, though. All in time. All right, guys. I'm out of here. I'm getting ready to turn into a cupcake. So I appreciate y'all swinging by, and I'll catch you on my next video or stream. Have a good one.